I too have had grapefruit regret because that shit is disgusting. What an awful piece of fruit that is. I did, however, stumble across this album through the Quietus's top albums of 2019. They had Karenn here on the list. Hadn't heard of this artist before. That's what I like about the Quietus, the Quietus music publication. I think they're actually one of the more interesting ones that throw in some really strange, obscure oddballs in their lists. Often I check them out and I don't particularly have that much enjoyment listening to them, but I respect them for what they do. This one stood out quite nicely though. I think Grapefruit Regret here is some really cool garage, industrial techno type music that you should definitely lay your ears on. The one thing you will notice with this album is that it is raw. It is just so goddamn raw. Like, the beats on this are just so straight to the point. Like they ain't slowing down for you. Lemon Dribble has this formula down to a T, instantaneously, with its very stuttering beat. It's really, really like aggressive in your face nature, but it's also kind of like this subtle way of doing it. Like, it's not quite as like angry as it's just kind of sinister instead. It's rapid, it's in your face, but it's also collective and calm. Crush the Mushrooms though later on in the album takes a more disorientating approach. Like, it is kind of weird and wobbly and like kind of, you know, psychedelic in a strange way. I can't quite describe it, but the electronics, like the usage of the electronics, are very odd and weird, which I appreciate. It's almost like you're listening to this malfunctioning robot over this garage beat. It's very strange, but it is very good. The track Cloy is very brooding and menacing. It is just that sinister vibe I was mentioning, kind of taken to the extreme. But this track in particular, and a few others, kind of bring out a few issues with the album, and that's that the tracks sort of have an idea at the core of them, and then it's just like that. Like, there isn't really much progression, doesn't really go anywhere. It's very much the same, and some of the tracks like are quite lengthy, at like 5 minutes, and it can get a little stale. Peel Me Easy is easily the biggest example of this. I just think it's got a great beat at the foundation of it, like the core of the track is great. But then, what's next? What's the next step? There isn't one really, it just kind of repeats the same over and over. The track immediately after, frustratingly, is way more dynamic, has layers to it, you know, you're not just getting the same beat, there's, you know, different things coming through into the instrumental that works really well. I just wanted a bit more of this. That's when this album's at its best. It's bringing more to the table on those moments, and it's far more enjoyable of a listen, because that's the thing with this album, it does tire out quite quickly. It's not particularly that long, but I've heard longer albums in this style not tire out as quickly as this one does. You could have albums like this that go up to like 80-90 minutes, and because of how varied they are, you're just locked in the whole time, whereas this one, not even touching an hour, starts to get a bit tiresome. But again though, there are so many great tracks within this track listing here that it's hard to ignore them, like Strawbs. That track is just like traveling underground through a tunnel late at night, and you're just breaking the speed limit, dude. Like, you're just breaking the friggin' speed limit. The speed limit's 70, you're like at 110. I am not condoning this behavior, but I'm just saying it's almost like that's what you're going through in your mind. Like, it's so dark, the lights are kind of blasting your eyes, and you're just like traveling through. It's such a cool track. But yeah, moments like this just get my imagination running, and they're the best moments on the album, which is what really kind of tilts this onto the positive side, because unfortunately there are a few issues with this. So I'm going to go 6 out of 10, but definitely check this out, or to shine a light on it, because, you know, it's getting to that point of the year where year-end lists are coming through. You're going to find some things that you didn't really know anything about, and I'm just kind of hoping people are going to, you know, check this out, hopefully get something out of it. And, you know, there's not much out at the moment, so why not give it a listen? Why not give it a listen? But I guess that's what I might be doing for the most of this month, to be honest, unless something massive drops, which I don't know if there is anything huge on the way. There may be, who knows. But yeah, I'll probably just be playing catch up and seeing what I've missed, but let me know what I should review. Have a good day, and goodbye.